say my greatest professional accomplishment isn't one single act, but a culmination of things that came together to really grow the experience that I had working with HMH 361, a Marine Corps helicopter squadron. And I say that because I was only the second civilian to ever serve in the role that I held when I was with them as the family readiness officer. And so to enter into a squadron that had just begun down this pathway of a family readiness program and had been in place for about 2 years when I showed up was not just about me learning the job, but about gaining the trust of an entire command and an entire community of military families to really trust that not only was I there with good intentions, but I knew what I was doing and I could serve them and help them in ways that they might not be able to do themselves. And so through 2 deployments, through 2 combat deployments, I was the remain behind liaison for these families. And if there was an issue or concern, a simple question, or in our unfortunate incident, a Class A mishap where we lost a Marine, it was just so remarkable to be there. And really, when people ask me about what was that like as a civilian, you know, I was the sole civilian in the hangar and a female at that. What was that like? I equate it to just peering behind the curtain and seeing like the wizard at work. Married to someone in the military, I know the jargon, I know the lingo. There are things I hear and I have a frame of reference, but physically being in the spaces day after day and seeing the, op tempo and the battle rhythm of what an active duty unit goes through, and seeing also from the spouse aspect what their spouses go through when they're gone and knowing what they're undergoing while they're deployed. And it was so eye-opening and so humbling to think that someone who came from no military background, had no members of my family in the military and no formal training as a military employee other than interview processes and my degree in broadcasting. It was humbling to think that I would be allowed to work in that position. And when I left that squadron, there were programs in place that weren't there when I showed up. There were families that had gone through crises, that had come through the other side, in part with resources I had given them, but not by any means because what I had done. And I felt as though I was leaving behind a family when we moved. And that to me really summed up the experience, is that not only were they family to me, but after about 8 months of working there, they really considered me part of their group as well. I was by no means a Marine. I did not take an oath, but as much as one civilian could be brought into the community of a tight-knit group of Marines like that, they had done that for me, and that really was, I'd say, the culmination of my professional experience.